Hello guys, welcome to Regi Kiddies, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Thank you.
Okay, so I have the chest measurement inserted here, or better still, for better understanding, from the armhole line I will make it 1.5 inches. So with this 1.5, the armhole area will not be too tight for the boy, and it will not outgrow the sutana easily. You know, children are growing every day. So once I have the 3 points connected, then I will construct my armhole. On the back waist length, the stomach measurement is needed, but this measurement is optional. If you want to have the side of your sutana on a straight line, all you need to do is confirm the measurement you have on the chest level, measure everything together like so. This is 9 inches. Then I will come to the sutana length. I will insert the same 9 inches. Like so. Then I will take my straight ruler and connect the 2 points together. The point you have on the chest level and the point you have on the sutana length. Then you will make a straight line like so. So that was why I said the measurement you have on the back waist length is optional. Now let's confirm what we have here. You can see it's the same thing as what we have on the chest level. If you don't want your sutana to go on a straight line downward like so, you want this waist area to be smaller than the chest area, then all you need to do is to reduce the measurement you have here. For the chest level, I have 9 inches, so I will just subtract 1 inch from that. So instead of 9 inches on this line, I will have 8 inches, and I will not connect with a straight ruler. I will connect with my very firm curve because the side is not on a straight line. So I will be using this side of my very firm curve like so. Then I will connect from the chest level to the 8 inches point. After which I will connect from the 8 inches point I have on the back waist length line to the sutana length. In this case, you are still going to maintain the 9 inches you have on the sutana length. The 9 inches I carried from the chest level, I placed it on the sutana length. It is only the line I have here that I reduced by 1 inch. So now you will see the difference. This is not going to be on a straight line. The lower part of the sutana will be a little bit slanty. Now you can see the shape I have for the two lines are different. This is a straight line downward, while this is a little bit curvy. So far guys, we have the front and the back panel of our sutana drafted, as you can see. So the next step is to move to the construction of the side extension. You can call it side extension or side gore. The importance of the side extension is to allow free movement while you are on sutana. The lower part of the sutana will not be too tight. You'll be able to move freely while you are on sutana. So in constructing the extension, it can either start from the chest level or from the back waist length. It all depends on you. But the way I drafted this sutana, I have added enough ease on the chest level, so I don't need to extend the side extension to the chest level. Also, if you are trying to manage your fabrics, if you know that if you had enough ease on the chest level, your fabrics, that is your Sutana fabrics, will not be enough. You can reduce the measurements, then extend the side extension to get to the chest level. The starting point for the side extension will be the chest level, but in my own case, I will make it start on the back waist length. The side extension measurement I will be using for this garment is 8 inches for the width and 24.5 inches for the length. How do I arrive at 24.5 inches? That is the measurement from the back waist length downward to the Sutana length. I have 24.5 inches left. And for the width, that is how wide the extension is going to be, 8 inches. So I will go to the Sutana length point and I will insert half of the 8 inches, because 4 is going to fall on this side and 4 on the other side. Then from the 4 inches point, I will connect in a slanting manner to the waist point. So now I've placed my ruler on the 4 inches point I have on the Sutana length to the back waist length point in a slanting manner. Then I will make a straight line. Okay, so even with what you are seeing here, you can see the shape of the garment itself. So from the waist point, the side extension is increasing gradually downward to the Sutana length. Then this is the way you have your side extension. I will clean this straight line up in order not to get you guys confused. I'm not using the straight line I have by the side. So guys, you can see what I have for the shape. You can see the lower part of the garment is really coming out well. So the next step is to shape the lower part of the extension. In shaping the lower part of the side extension of our Prophet Celestial garment, I will come to the hemline by the side. Then I will take this up by 1.5 inches, or take the measurement you have from the Sutana length point to the back waist length, which is 24.5 inches for me. Then I will make sure I insert the same measurement on the extension, like so. So you can see what I have here. So it all depends on how much you want that part to be shaped. So I can go for this, like so, or if I want it very curvy, I will let it go this way. So the 1.5 inches I used is not a standard measurement. As I said earlier, it all depends on how curvy you want that part to be. You can decide to reduce it to 1 inch, but do not go above 1.5 inches. Also, before you do this, you must have added your seam allowance by the side of your extension. As you know, from the very start of the drafting of this pattern, I did not add any seam allowance so far. No seam allowance on this pattern from the starting point downward to the hemline. Okay, so I will need to add my seam allowance. You can either add your seam allowances on your pattern or you add it on your fabrics. But because I don't want much stain on my fabrics because it's white, I will prefer adding my seam allowances on my pattern. So for the neckline, I will choose one neckline for myself. Then I will clean up the remaining lines, so that when I add my seam allowance, you will see it clearly. Now I have this for my neckline. I will be adding half of an inch of seam allowance on my neckline, and this has to be taken inward, not outward. If you take the measurement outward, that means you have already added to the width and the depth of your neckline. Okay, so I will take half of an inch inward here, half of an inch inward here, and I will connect the 2 points together. Then on the armhole area, I will be adding half of an inch of seam allowance as well. So this has to be taken forward like so. not backward. If you take the measurement backward, you've already added to the armhole measurement. So I will be taking the 1/2 inch forward. Then for the side of my garment, I will be adding 0.75 as my seam allowance. But if you want to have enough space inside the sutana, so maybe in the nearest future you want to add some ease to the sutana, you can make it 1 inch. But standard wise, between 1/2 inch and 0.75 is okay. So I will be adding 0.75 on the chest level, on the back waist length point, and on the sutana length. So after adding my seam allowance by the side, I will have to clean up the extension I drafted here, and I will move it forward. Then by the side of the extension as well, I will be adding the same 0.75 as my seam allowance. So guys, now I have all my seam allowances added on my pattern. As you can see, I have 1/2 inch added on the neckline, 1/2 inch on the armhole, 0.75, that is 3/4, by the side of the bodies, and the measurement I have from here, from the seam allowance line to this point, is the gore, that is the extension measurement. Then from this point forward is the seam allowance for the extension, and I use 0.75 for the seam allowance on the extension. Whatever you used as your seam allowance on the bodies of the garments is what you must use for the extension as well. The only part I did not add my seam allowance is the hemline, because the length of my pattern paper is not enough. I did not add my hem allowance. I will add this on my fabrics. Then on the shoulder line, seam allowance is not needed because the shoulder line is going to be on fold. No joining on the shoulder line. Now I'm cutting on the neckline. I'm cutting on the seam allowance line I added. Then straight to the armhole point. Then I will cut on the side seam, that is the side of the garment. So now you can see what I'm cutting out. I'm cutting out the bodies itself. So this line is the side of my garment, and this is the seam allowance line I added. So that is, the seam allowance line is going to serve for the extension and for the bodies. So this line is for both extension and the bodies. So the line I'm cutting on is going to be the center of the extension, the center of the extension and the side of the bodies. The lines I have left is for the extension. So guys, now I have my patterns cut out. As you can see, here is the bodies of my sutana, and this is the gore, which is also known as a side extension. Thank you guys for watching this video to this point. Make sure you try yours and get your pattern ready, as I will be dropping the sewing parts of this tutorial soon. Remember to like, share and comment on this video in case of any question. Thank you once again, and I will see you in my next video. Till then, keep watching, keep learning.